Must have been jammering on for so long that the fucking phone just stopped. Yeah, so, you know, I've got prospects coming through on the internet of work. I do find myself in a position where I have to go back to work. I'm only going. I'm just trying to get back to work to get a bit of references and show that I'm willing to work, because society again will frown upon me for being unemployed for 3 years. They neglect to think that the reason I'm unemployed is because I was made redundant. Right, that depressed the fuck out of me. Not only that, I ended up getting incarcerated in hospital. Then I spent a year on recovery, and then they have the audacity to say to me, "So why have you not worked for 3 years?" Right? Because I'm fucking unemployed. I can't get work. I haven't got a car, so I can't. Some of these jobs that I'm applying for are night jobs because I can't get there in the morning. So I have to work at 7, 8 o'clock at night, start a shift at 9 o'clock in order to get some kind of work hours in. Because once again, and it's not fair, but this is the way it is, and I don't know why, because the unemployed people that have got business bus passes, those people still need to get to town regardless of whether they're unemployed or not. They still have appointments. I have appointments at 9 o'clock I've got to get to, but the bus only allows them at 9:30 or 40. Right, because that's when the first bus is, 9:40. But you can't get on a bus in Swindon with a bus pass or an OAP card or anything like that until 9:30. And all jobs start at 7. You know, I've got to get across town with no car. Right, so I asked for help for a car. Can't get that, so I got. There's no way I can do that job. You ask the government for help. They say no, we don't do that. We don't provide transport. Right. You got a bus pass, but the bus pass doesn't work till 10:30, 9:30. Oh, well, you'll have to get in later then. Can't you arrange with your work to start later? You know, they'll do anything but change the bus time to allow people to just easily get on buses. It's not got anything to do with whether it's right that you get on the bus before 9:30 or not, because people who've got to go to work have more priorities. That's got nothing to do with it. It's just a way of controlling you because they give you a free bus pass. Right? They gave you the free bus pass. They don't want it to be easy for you to travel, so they make it hard for you to travel by saying to you, you have to get on at a certain time. Right? But it could be 7:30 and there's a bus, and I say, can I get on the bus with my bus pass? And the guy go, no, you can't get on for 2 hours. But I've got to get to work. Well, you've got to pay. Why have I got to pay? I've got a bus pass. But it doesn't work till 9:30. It goes round and round and round. Right? It goes round, and it goes round again. Right? I could come up with examples all over town of this shit. Right? What is it? You apply for work. You're desperate for work. You apply for work. But the manager, whose job it is to find somebody, would rather just pick the easiest option, right? He might find a pretty woman that he wants in his office, a pretty young girl. He'll take the easy option. If he thinks he can fuck that 15-year-old, that 18-year-old, then he will employ them. 17-year-old, whatever, he will employ them, right? Because people like me don't get a look in at my age. Right? I'm over the hill as far as they're concerned. I've got no education, I've got no background, I've got nothing. I've got my streetwise personality, that's about it, right? And yeah, people seem to think that society running along each other doing society things is the right way of doing it. Get up, go to work, right? Earn some money, come home again, right? Get up, go to work, earn some money, come home again. You have no life. It's working 9 to 5. Listen to the lyrics of the song. All you're doing is committing your soul to someone else's fucking production. Right? That's it. Someone else is making money and you're having to work for your money. Right? And then they give you crap wages. They don't increase wages with the inflation. They don't increase wages with the price of food. Milk goes up, my wages don't. Right? Government payment, it doesn't go up when the wages go up. Right? So we still have to pay those prices, even though rent now is like £1,000 for a 1-bedroom flat. If you're lucky in Swindon, you'll find somewhere for less than 600 quid. But it will be a shared house. You will not get anything for less than 750 quid that is not shared house in Swindon. To all you landlords and landladies, you are disgusting. You are ripping people off in this town for the sake of paying your mortgage on the property so you can sell your soul for more money. Right? I'm better off living in a tent, and I found a place to put a tent. I just need to buy a tent. Right? Because I found a place to survive, I found a place to chill, I found a place to call home. Right? I don't need a house. I need somewhere to sleep and keep my stuff, but I don't need to rent a shithole like this. I could go and rent a room. I could get a bedroom. I can rent a fucking garage and call it a business address and then still get my benefits. There's ways around it. But I don't want benefits. I want you employers in Swindon to stop treating me like a cunt and start giving me some money. I'll work for it because people know I'm a worker, a grafter. Right? I'll work all the hours God sends. But if you're paying pathetic wages or you think you're going to control me with little things, control, like charging me for my uniform every month when it should be free. Right? That's one thing that employers do. Why do the drivers who deliver parcels have to pay for their own fuel? Why? Yes, they're driving their van and they own the van, but why doesn't Amazon pay their fuel? They've got enough money. Right? They push it on to the little man, the man that can't afford it, the man that's struggling. Amazon could afford to pay millions of gallons of fucking fuel, right? Every day for all their businesses around fucking England, all their warehouses, right? And it wouldn't cost them any more than, what they're probably paying 20 fucking people to do one person's job, right? So, I work for them. Amazon, yeah, fuck off. I wouldn't work for Amazon. They literally had Romanians working there, and they had me sent out in a van with Romanians who didn't speak English, but they like to talk Romanian against each other, to each other. And I'm not being funny, but when you're driven into the woods to meet a van that you don't know where you're going, you don't know where you are, you're in the middle of fucking Winchester, and this guy's talking foreign language to somebody. Even though I wasn't smoking weed, I was very paranoid about getting hurt that day. I thought I was going to get kidnapped. I didn't know what to think, because I was in that situation of being thrown in a van and driven around by a foreigner who doesn't speak English. Right? If you can't speak English, learn. Right? This is what we speak in this country. And if I hear you speaking shit to me, I'll just say, mate, I don't fucking understand you. Non of hablo iglesias, or whatever the fuck it is. So, yeah, right, I've done my best over the years to be a good employee. I've done my best to work hard, right? But when I started working for myself, trying to do something for myself, everybody turned on me. The minute I started becoming popular on Facebook, YouTube, everybody around me decided to say, don't call me again, right? Don't call me again. Don't call me again. Like it makes a fucking difference to me. I'm going to the fucking top of the fucking world, right? Because I'm not staying in this shithole, right? So I'm going to make my life better, regardless of man, woman that gave birth to me, regardless of the brother, which quite honestly has had nothing to do with me in 30 years. His fucking wife, who, well, she's welcome to that family because nobody likes her in it, so she's never going to be part of that family. My relatives from up north, see them once every 4 years. I don't know my cousins. I've been taken away from all my family from getting to know them. They're so ignorant they don't come down for occasions, birthdays, and when they do come, they all have to come together. They can't come individually. So when you have one side of the family, you have two sides of the family, three sides of the family, 4 cars parked on the driveway, and it's like they can't live without each other. But I always saw the truth. I always saw the truth. Not one of them wanted to come down on their own, or as a family, or as a couple. They wanted to come down as a unit, right? And in that unit, they had control, right? They dominated the folks that were my parents living in that property. But all they would do was try and manipulate and dominate. But I don't fall for that. I can't be a fool and let somebody manipulate me. Which is why I told somebody, a good friend of mine, to fuck off the other day, because he tried to manipulate me. And he hasn't spoken to me in 2 days. He hasn't spoken to me in 2 days. I even said, "Oh, you still pining over what we said," and he ain't got back to me. So Peachy, right? You're a loser. You're always going to be a fucking loser, right? Your own kids don't like you. Your friends don't like you. Everybody has a bad word to say about you. And I was the one who defended you and said, no, he's a good bloke, right? But your actions make your actions make the man. So yeah, you wanna play games with me? I'm gonna go on the internet and say, Neil Peach of Swindon, you're a cunt, right? You deserve every fucking thing that's coming to you that's going to be bad, right? Because you've done nothing good for anybody in your life by yourself. And is it no wonder that no one fucking likes you? The other thing was, the other thing was, another person that thought that they had control over me. He got a few whacks in the face for that one. I will not be spoken to in a certain way. I will not be threatened by anybody, policeman, gangster. It doesn't make any difference to me, right? If I don't know you, then don't get on the wrong side of me, because it means nothing to me. I'm not going to protect you from my own anger, right? I'm not going to stop myself from hurting you. If you do damage to me, if you try and destroy my world, right? So with all these videos, I'm hoping to see a change in the town centre. Hopefully Regenerate will shut. Yeah, and hopefully CEX will close around the country because the gig is up, the jig is up. People will realise that they're fronts. They're not making money. Their books should be looked at, because there's going to be a lot of fucking laundering action in the books of these companies, because I've never seen anybody buy anything apart from dickhead me that bought a 10-year-old laptop and worked this whole problem out with them, working out that this is what they do, right? They buy old stuff and don't sell it on. So what do they do with the money? They launder it. Right, they launder it. The same as all the businesses up Commercial Road. They launder it. It's all criminal activity. And every day you go into town, you're giving more money to these foreign criminals. I say foreign, that's Commercial Road. CEX, I don't know who owns it. I'd imagine it's a big Asian family or someone like that. Some big businessman family that runs CEX, because you don't see anybody above 25 working there. Right, so it's probably a ploy to hide the fact that nobody's actually buying anything. Nobody wants that crap. Who wants a 10-year-old tablet? It doesn't work. It's old phones. Nobody buys old phones anymore. You can buy cheap new ones. The only people buying old ones are nostalgia reasons. For collectors. Right? What else do they have? PlayStation 4's in there. Right? Why have they got PlayStation 4's in there? Because the PlayStation 5's come out. So who's going to want the 4? Right? The person who sold it probably wanted money for some reason. But the people selling it, CEX, know that technology is dead. It's dead. The next generation's coming through. So what are they going to do with it? Recycle it? Send it to a foreign country? No, they're not going to do any of that. They're going to write it off. They're going to get a skip. They're going to get a skip and they're going to throw it all in a skip and get it carted away. Right? Because it's pointless. It's worthless. They don't sell. They've got games in there that they don't sell. They've got stuff in there that doesn't sell. People walk around looking, but they don't buy. And they won't do now, because once I tell them all this on camera and outside the shop and stuff, they'll stop buying from there. But get your head out your arse, Swindon. Stop giving these criminals money. If you're going to give criminals money, go to your dealer and give him the money straight away, right? Go and buy some fucking weed or whatever, right? Don't go to pawn shops, right? And if you need money, I've said it again, if you want money for buying and selling stuff, do it on Facebook or Marketplace, right? But be careful, because I've had my problem with that as well, where I'm a internet celebrity or whatever, personality or whatever you want to call it. People come here pretending to buy my furniture to meet me, right? And then they get all excited because I'm nice to them or whatever, and then they treat me like shit and don't buy the goods. So I now have to wait until, well, I'm going to phone them today and say, if you're not coming, I'm taking it off the market. You've had 3 days, you stitched me up, it's bank holiday, you stitched me up. In fact, I'm going to do it now.